In this video, we're going to look at how the DeSandro Masonry plugin can be used to organize the posts within this left column. Looking at the settings of one of these posts within this column, we use the alternative RWD system to set it up so that on larger view screen sizes, the post will occupy close to 25% of the row, which will be 4 across, and then on view screen sizes under 1000 px, they're going to occupy 3 across. And then at 800 and under, 2 posts in a row with margins. And then at view screen widths at 500 px and under, posts will occupy 100% of the row with larger margins at 500 and below, 400 and below view screens, margins of 2% and a width of 95%. These settings were exported to all the posts within the parent column. And then the left column and the right column themselves were actually set in rem units. Although percentage option could have been used, the rem unit scaling feature was turned on so that on viewport sizes between 1600 and 300 px, there'll be linear scaling. Now, because a rem unit equals 16 px, each rem unit now equals 1% of the total width available. The left column was set at 80 rem and the right column was set at 8 rem with rem's margins. And then as we narrow the view screen width, we see that those columns are proportionately getting smaller. And then when we get to a view screen width of 750, we see that both the left and the right column are now occupying the full row. And that's because we set up an advanced media query. The advanced media query was used to reset the widths of both columns to 93 rem plus a 3 rem margins for a complete video on advanced styles, advanced classes, group styling, global styling. Check it out at ExpressEdit.org. So we're going to turn Masonry on, and we do that in this left column. We go to the column options, width and float options, and then we go down to Masonry option. There's only one setting to enable. This system currently uses the Masonry option, where the first post in the column will actually set the Masonry column width. Now, the Masonry column width is like a virtual column width that acts as an increment. So even if another post is a little bit over that width, it would then occupy 2 virtual Masonry column widths. So for example, we had 2 posts at 1.5 times a Masonry column width, and it would fit nicely in 3 virtual Masonry column widths. And because all our posts are the same size to begin with, it didn't matter which one is in the first position, at least in this example. So now notice the posts are all packed without the gaps. Masonry works well with the current float settings and width settings, except if we use Flexbox, it doesn't work well. And as we narrow the view screen width, we see that Masonry continues to reorganize the columns at the various viewport widths to make the post packing more efficiently. Although Masonry tries to keep the general order of posts the same, it does reorganize the post positions to make the best fit. Now, the spaces between the posts are actually the margin settings. So we're going to go ahead and double the width of the text post and the image text post. We're going to choose width of 47.5%, and then we'll leave the 0.8% margins. And then on view screens below 1000 px, the virtual value originally came out to 33.3%, and to double that, we'll go with 65% of the new width. We'll keep the 0.7 margins. And below 800 px, we'll leave the settings as they are. We'll use these settings also for the image text post. So we hit submit. Text posts are occupying half of the column space available alongside 2 of the original size. Narrow the view screen. They're occupying 2/3 alongside one of the original size posts, and then below 800 px, they're occupying the same size as the original post size. So Masonry does a very efficient job of packing posts within a parent column to remove any gaps, as long as we're flexible with the actual layout, because Masonry will switch posts around to make them fit. Now in this example we used all posts, but if we had a nested column wrapping particular posts together, it would operate on that nested column. So you can have a mix of post types, including nested columns, within a parent column arranged by Masonry. So that's it for Masonry. In the next video on ExpressEdit.org, we're going to look at the use of an equal height setting using scalable rim units, and how we can use this to pack posts tightly together without space gaps.